The door creaked open like a gunshot in the dead of night, and there he was, Brandon, my stepson, frozen in the threshold. His eyes widening as they locked onto my bare chest, sweat still glistening from the run I'd just taken to shake off the ghosts of another empty evening. Shit, Michael, I thought you were out, he stammered, but his voice cracked like thunder, not with apology, but with something darker, hungrier, that mirrored the heat suddenly pooling in my gut. In that split second, as I stood half-naked in the dim glow of my bedside lamp, towels slung low on my hips, the air between us thickened into something alive, electric, a forbidden current that neither of us could deny, pulling us toward the edge of everything we'd built our fragile lives upon. I yanked the towel tighter around my waist, heart slamming against my ribs like it was trying to escape the room before the rest of me could. The apartment in Brooklyn felt smaller than ever, the walls closing in with the weight of what we'd just seen, what we'd both felt. Brandon was 22 now, all sharp angles and restless energy, his dark hair falling into eyes that had always held too much fire for a kid who'd lost his mom young. Me, Michael Harlan, 45, a divorced architect who'd married Brandon's mother in a whirlwind of grief and hope 6 years ago, only for cancer to steal her away 2 years later. We'd been rattling around this two-bedroom walk-up ever since, two strangers bound by loss, pretending we were family. Brandon, get out, I managed, my voice rougher than I intended, laced with the kind of authority that came from years of drafting blueprints for skyscrapers, structures meant to stand firm against storms. But this was no blueprint. This was chaos. He didn't move. Not right away. His gaze flickered down, just for a beat, tracing the lines of my body in a way that made my skin burn. Then, like he'd been slapped, he backed up a step, his broad shoulders hitting the doorframe. Sorry. I just needed to grab that book you borrowed. For class. His excuse hung lame in the air, and we both knew it. The book was on the kitchen counter downstairs. He'd passed it on his way up. I turned away, grabbing a shirt from the chair, pulling it over my head to break the spell. It's fine. Just knock next time. The words felt like sandpaper. When I faced him again, he was still there, arms crossed over his chest like a shield, his jaw set in that stubborn line he'd inherited from his father, the one I'd never met. Yeah. Knocking. Got it. He pushed off the frame, but paused, his green eyes searching mine with an intensity that twisted something deep inside me. You okay? You look like hell. I forced a laugh, short and bitter. Rough day at the firm. Deadlines. The usual. Lies. The truth was, I'd been staring at old photos of Elena, Brandon's mom, my wife, wondering how the hell I'd ended up here, playing house with her ghost and her son who was starting to look at me like I was more than just the guy who signed his tuition checks. He nodded, slow, like he saw right through me. Right? Well, night. And then he was gone, the door clicking shut behind him, leaving the room echoing with the ghost of his presence. I sank onto the bed, running a hand through my salt and pepper hair, the one feature Elena used to tease me about, saying it made me look like a distinguished professor instead of the blue-collar kid from Philly I'd always been. What the fuck was that? The question looped in my head as I lay back, staring at the cracked ceiling. Brandon had always been complicated, affectionate in bursts, hugs that lingered a second too long after her funeral, late-night talks over cheap beer when the silence got too heavy. But tonight, That wasn't affection. That was a spark, one that could burn the whole damn building down. Downstairs, I heard the fridge open, the clink of a bottle. Part of me wanted to go down, to crack a joke, diffuse it like we always did. But I stayed put, letting the distance grow, because some lines you don't cross. Not when you're the adult. Not when he's the kid you promised to protect. The next morning, sunlight sliced through the blinds like accusations, and I found Brandon in the kitchen, hunched over his laptop, nursing a coffee that smelled like it could strip paint. He was in his usual uniform, faded jeans that hugged his runner's legs, a threadbare NYU hoodie that swallowed his frame. Art major, like his mom, always sketching in the margins of everything. Morning, I grunted, pouring my own mug, avoiding his eyes. Hey, he didn't look up, but his fingers stilled on the keys. About last night, forget it, I cut him off, sharper than I meant. Accidents happen. He glanced up then, his expression unreadable. Yeah. Sure. But there was an edge to his tone, a challenge that made my pulse kick up again. Work swallowed me that day, endless revisions on a high-rise for some Manhattan developer who thought sustainable meant slapping solar panels on a glass behemoth. By the time I dragged myself home, the autumn chill had settled over the neighborhood, leaves skittering like secrets across the sidewalk. Brandon was out, probably at that dive bar in Williamsburg with his sketchy friends, the ones who smoked too much and talked about finding themselves like it was a full-time job. I heated up leftover lasagna, cracked open a beer, and flipped on the Knicks game. Normalcy. That's what I needed. But halfway through the first quarter, the door banged open, and there he was, cheeks flushed from the cold or something stronger, his hoodie zipped halfway, revealing the black tank top clinging to his chest. Michael! His voice was slurred just enough to set my teeth on edge. He kicked the door shut, tossing his keys onto the counter with a clatter. You up? I need to talk. I muted the TV, eyeing him warily. How much did you drink? He waved it off, dropping into the chair across from me, his knee brushing mine under the table. Accidental? Maybe. Enough to say what I should have said months ago. He leaned forward, elbows on the table, his scent, sweat and cheap cologne and something uniquely him, filling the space between us. I saw you. Last night. Not just, all of you, but the way you looked at me, like you were scared. Of me. My grip tightened on the bottle. Brandon, you're drunk. Go to bed. Fuck that. His eyes blazed. That fire again. I'm not a kid anymore. And you're not just my stepdad. You're the only one who's been there. After Mom. After everything. He reached across, his hand covering mine, warm and calloused from charcoal and clay. Tell me I'm wrong. I pulled back, but not fast enough. The touch lingered. A brand. You're wrong. This us, it's not. Words failed me. How do you explain the ache? The wrongness that felt so right? He stood, chair scraping, and for a moment, I thought he'd storm off. Instead, he rounded the table, dropping to his knees in front of me, his hands on my thighs. Michael, please. Just look at me. The room spun. His face was inches from mine, lips parted, breath mingling with the hops on my tongue. I could have pushed him away. Should have. But I didn't. I cupped his jaw instead, thumb tracing the stubble there, feeling the tremor in him that matched my own. And then, God help me, I kissed him. It was brief, a brush of lips born of desperation, but it shattered everything. He gasped against me, hands fisting in my shirt, pulling me closer. When we broke apart, his eyes were wet, not from booze, but from something deeper. I've wanted that since I was 18, he whispered. I shoved him back gently, standing, the chair toppling behind me. Go to your room. Now, he rose, hurt flashing across his face, but he obeyed, disappearing down the hall. I collapsed against the counter, head in hands, the taste of him lingering like sin. That night, sleep was a stranger. I tossed in sheets that smelled faintly of his laundry. We'd shared a detergent since Elena died. A small mercy turned curse. By dawn, resolve had hardened in my chest. This couldn't happen. Not again. I'd call his aunt in Jersey tomorrow, see if she could take him in for a bit. Distance. That's what we needed. But when I emerged, coffee in hand, Brandon was already at the table, sketching furiously, his face pale but determined. I meant it, he said without looking up. Every word. Brandon. No. He slammed the pencil down, charcoal smudging his fingers. You don't get to kiss me and then pretend it didn't happen. I'm gay, Michael. Have been since forever. And you? I think you feel it too. The confession hung there, raw and American as a coming-out story in some indie flick, except this was our life, messy and real, in a Brooklyn kitchen with bills stacked on the fridge. I set my mug down, sinking into the chair. It's not that simple. I'm supposed to protect you, not this. He laughed, bitter. Protect me? From what? From feeling alive for the first time since Mom died. He shoved his sketchbook toward me. It was us, me. From last night, half-shadowed, vulnerable. The lines were tender, aching. I traced the page, throat tight. Elena would kill me. She'd want us happy. His voice broke. Isn't that what family is? We sat in silence after that. The city waking around us, horns blaring, vendors shouting. It was the start of something irrevocable, a fault line cracking open beneath our feet. The weeks blurred into a tense dance. I'd come home late, burying myself in work, drafting elevations for condos that would house strangers while my own home crumbled under unspoken desire. Brandon threw himself into classes, his art sharper, edgier nudes that looked suspiciously like me, though he'd deny it with a smirk. One evening, after a brutal day of client bullshit, I found him on the fire escape, cigarette dangling from his lips, staring at the Manhattan skyline like it owed him answers. I joined him, the metal groaning under my weight, our shoulders brushing. Bad habit, I nodded at the smoke. He exhaled, slow. Like a lot of things, his eyes met mine, and there it was again, that pull, magnetic and merciless. We talked then, really talked. About Elena's laugh, how it filled rooms. About the nights he'd cried himself to sleep after the funeral, and how I'd sat outside his door, listening, helpless. About the men I'd dated briefly before her, the ones that never stuck because something in me always held back. You're bi, right? He asked, casual as handing over the pack. I took one, lighting up despite myself. Yeah. Figured it out in college. Philly bars. Bad decisions. I glanced at him, You always knew. First crush was on the neighbor kid. Mom found my drawings, hugged me instead of freaking out. Lucky kid. My own coming out had been a fistfight in a back alley, courtesy of my old man. She was good like that. The best. He stubbed his out, turning to face me fully. The city lights painted him gold. Michael. What if we tried? Just us. No labels. No steps. My heart stuttered. It's fucked up. Love's always fucked up. He leaned in, forehead to mine, breath warm. But it's ours. I didn't pull away. Couldn't. That night, we crossed the line. Not all the way, but enough. Hands exploring in the dark of the living room, whispers against skin, a tentative bridge over the chasm. Felt like coming home. But bridges burn easy, especially when built on secrets. The first crack came subtle, a whisper in the wind off the East River. Brandon started pulling away, not obvious, not at first. He'd come home late from study groups, his phone buzzing with texts he silenced quick. I catch him staring at it, thumb hovering, a shadow crossing his face that hadn't been there before. I'd ask, casual over dinner, take out Thai from the spot on Bedford that Elena loved. Everything good at school? Yeah. Fine. Short answers, eyes on his plate. Then he'd flash that grin, the one that lit him up, and lean over to steal a bite from my fork, his knee pressing mine under the table. Missed you today. It disarmed me. Every time. We'd fall into rhythm after that. Lazy Sundays sketching while I read the Times, his head in my lap, stolen kisses in the shower, water cascading like absolution. Sex came slow, reverent, like we were mapping sacred ground. His body under mine, lean and yielding, green eyes locked on blue, murmuring my name like a prayer. Michael. Fuck. Yes. It was messy, profound, the kind of intimacy that stitches souls. I told myself it was enough, that we were carving out something real in the ruins. But doubt gnawed, American as apple pie laced with arsenic, the fear that this happiness was borrowed, due for repossession. It shattered on a Friday in late October, the air crisp with the promise of Halloween haunts. I got home early, arms full of groceries for the pasta Brandon craved. The apartment was quiet, too quiet, until a sound drifted from his room. Low moans, rhythmic, unmistakable. My stomach dropped. I set the bags down soft, creeping closer like a thief in my own home. The door was ajar, and through the crack, I saw them, Brandon, shirtless on his bed, tangled with some guy, tall, blonde, all surfer vibes and easy confidence. They were laughing between kisses, hands roaming free, oblivious. Betrayal hit like a gut punch, hot and nauseating. I backed away, silent, grabbing my keys and bolting down the stairs before the sob could escape. Outside, the street blurred through tears I hadn't shed since Elena's chemo days. What the fuck was I doing? Playing house with a kid half my age, pretending we could outrun the world's judgment. I ended up at O'Malley's, the Irish dive 2 blocks over, nursing a Jameson that burned less than the image seared in my brain. The bar was half empty, regulars hunched over pints, the jukebox crooning Springsteen like a bad omen. Thunder Road, fitting. Hours later, too many, my phone lit up. Brandon, where are you? Dinner's cold. I typed back out. Don't wait. His reply pinged fast. Michael, talk to me. I powered off, signaling for another round. When the door swung open and he stormed in, hoodie zipped against the chill, eyes wild, I knew I'd fucked up by running. There you are. He slid onto the stool beside me, voice tight. What's going on? I stared at the scarred wood, tracing a knot like it held answers. Saw you. With him. Silence. Thick as fog. Then, shit. He ran a hand through his hair. Michael. It's not. Who is he? The words came out wrecked, jealous in a way that shamed me. Jake. From Life Drawing. We hooked up once. Months ago. Tonight was nothing. A stupid mistake. He gripped my arm. Urgent. I was freaked out. About us. Thought maybe I could forget. Prove it was just a phase. A phase. I yanked free. The stool scraping. That's what I am to you? No. God. No. His voice cracked, drawing glances from the bartender. You're everything. But the looks at school, the whispers. My prof cornered me today, asked if I was distracted. I panicked. I laughed. Hollow. Welcome to my world, kid. Try being the old guy in this equation. You're not old. He cupped my face, thumb brushing my lip, right there in the bar like we were any couple. You're mine. The fight drained out of me then, replaced by exhaustion. We stumbled home arm in arm, the city a neon blur. In the hallway, he pushed me against the wall, kissing me fierce, apologetic, hands fumbling with my belt. Let me show you, he murmured against my neck. We made it to the couch, clothes shedding like old skin. It was rougher that night, edged with anger and need, me pinning him down, his nails raking my back, gasps echoing off the walls. Yours, he panted, arching into me. Only yours. After, tangled in throw blankets, sweat cooling, he traced the scars on my chest. Appendectomy from my 20s, a bar fight memento. I love you, he said, soft as snowfall. I froze. Love. The word hung heavy, a commitment I'd shied from even with Elena. Brandon, don't. He propped up on an elbow. I serious. I know it's scary. But it's true. I pulled him close, burying my face in his hair. I love you too. The admission slipped out, terrifying and true. We fell asleep like that, the city humming lullabies outside. But morning brought reality. His phone buzzing with Jake's name, deleted quick but not quick enough. Trust, fragile as glass, had a hairline fracture now. The holidays loomed like storm clouds. Thanksgiving, Elena's favorite. We'd always done small. Turkey, her stuffing recipe, stories around the table. This year, Brandon suggested we host his Aunt Clara, Elena's sister, the one who'd raised eyebrows at our close bond but never pried. Clara arrived with pies and probing questions, her sharp eyes missing nothing. You two look good, she said over wine, winking. Happier. Brandon choked on his mashed potatoes. I busied myself with refills. Just settling into routine, I muttered. She patted my hand. Elena's watching, you know. Approving. Her words haunted me that night, after she'd gone. Brandon and I lay in my bed, his room abandoned weeks ago, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin. Think she's okay with this? He asked, voice small. I turned, kissing his temple. She loved fiercely. She'd want the same for us. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Then why does it feel like we're hiding? Because we were. At work, I dodged happy hours, fabricating stories about family stuff. Brandon skipped campus events, sketching in isolation. The world outside our door was a minefield, legality no issue at his age. But the optics, stepdad and stepson, it'd torch my career, shatter his dreams. Winter deepened, snow blanketing Brooklyn in hush. We built a cocoon, movie marathons of old noirs, his head on my chest, midnight runs along the promenade, hands brushing in the dark. Sex evolved too slower, exploratory, him topping me one night with a gentleness that undid me, whispering endearments in the afterglow. But Jake lingered like a bad aftertaste. One night, post-argument over nothing, dishes, maybe, I found a sketch in the trash. Jake's face, half erased, anger in the lines. Old habit, Brandon shrugged when confronted. Throwing shit out. I let it slide. Shouldn't have. Christmas Eve. We decorated the tree Elena's ornament box yielded, tinsel tangled like our secrets. Halfway through, he pulled me under the mistletoe patch we'd hung ironically, kissing me deep, hands wandering. Best gift, he murmured, dropping to his knees. It was reverent, him worshipping me there amid pine needles and lights, the city fireworks popping distant. I came undone, pulling him up for more, carrying him to bed. We made love till dawn, bodies sinking like they'd always known the rhythm. New Year's, though that's when the fracture widened. He wanted to go out, hit a party in the village with queer friends he'd ghosted. Come on, he coaxed, tugging my shirt. Live a little, I balked. Crowds. Drunks. Bad idea. It's safe. Just dancing. His eyes pleaded for normalcy, for us to breathe outside these walls. Reluctant, I went. The club was an assault. Bass thumping like heartbeats, bodies grinding under strobes. Brandon lit up, pulling me onto the floor, his hips against mine in a tease that hardened me instantly. We danced, lost in it, until Jake appeared, tall, drunk, slinging an arm around Brandon's waist. Missed you, babe, Jake slurred, ignoring me. Brandon stiffened, shoving him off. Back off. I'm here with Michael. Jake's laugh was ugly. Stepdaddy? Kinky. Heads turned. Whispers rippled. I grabbed Brandon's hand, storming out into the chill night. Told you. He yanked free on the sidewalk, snowflakes catching in his lashes. You told me? Like I'm a child. You're acting like one. The words exploded. Regret instant. Fuck you. He hailed a cab, vanishing into traffic, leaving me alone with the ball drop echoing from Times Square TVs in shop windows. He didn't come home till morning, eyes red, smelling of regret and rye. I'm sorry, he whispered, crawling into bed. I love you. Don't let him ruin us. I held him tight, but the damage festered. Doubt whispered, was this sustainable, or just a beautiful wreck waiting to happen? Spring thawed the ice, but not the chill between us. Brandon's art show loomed, his thesis, nudes and abstracts screaming vulnerability. I attended, proud in a suit that felt too tight, clapping as he accepted praise. But in the crowd, Jake lurked, congratulating with a hand on Brandon's back too long. That night, explosion. He's nothing, Brandon yelled in our kitchen, pots clanging like accusations. Then why's he always around? Because he's in my class. Because I can't just. Can't what? Admit you're ashamed. The slap of words landed hard. He stormed out, slamming the door. Hours later, a text at a friend's. Need space. Space. The word gutted me. I drank alone, flipping through Elena's letters, her cursive looping like nooses. Take care of him, Michael. He's my heart. By dawn, resolve hit. I couldn't lose him. Not to Jake, not to fear. When he slunk back, duffel in hand, pulled him into a hug. Don't go. I'm not. But his eyes were guarded. Just scared. We rebuilt slow therapy sessions I booked for us both. A queer counselor in Chelsea who normalized without judgment. Steps don't define you, she said. Love does. It helped. Summer bloomed, humid and hopeful. Picnics in Prospect Park. His sketches of us hidden in folios. One night, under stars smudged by city glow, he proposed not rings, but promises. Move with me. After graduation. Upstate. Fresh start. I hesitated. The firm, the life here anchoring. And your art. We'll make it work. His kiss sealed it. But fate, that cruel American dramatist, had other plans. The call came on a sweltering July afternoon, my office AC wheezing like an old man. Michael Harlan? The voice was crisp. Official Clara. It's Brandon. There's been an accident. Time fractured. I was out the door before details, hailing a cab to NYU Langone, the city a smear of heat haze. My mind raced worse scenarios. Crash. Overdose. Jake's hands too rough. But Clara waited in the lobby, face ashen, hugging me fierce. He's okay. Stable. Slipped on wet tiles at the dorm shower, cracked his head, some bleeding. Concussion. Stitches. Relief buckled my knees. Jesus. How? Idiot was rushing to class. Phone in hand. She squeezed my arm. They called me next of kin. You should update that. I nodded numb, signing forms with hands that shook. Upstairs. Brandon lay pale against starched sheets. For dripping, a bandage wrapping his temple like a crown of thorns. His eyes fluttered open as I entered, a weak smile cracking. Hey, hero. Come to save me? I sank into the chair, gripping his hand. Scared the shit out of me. Sorry. His thumb stroked my knuckles. Won't happen again. Clara hovered, then slipped out for coffee, leaving us. The room hummed sterile, monitors beeping our fragile pulse. I swallowed. Lost you. You won't. He tugged me closer, voice low. Ever. The kiss was hospital forbidden, soft and desperate, tasting of saline and survival. Nurses bustled past, we didn't care. In that bed, with tubes snaking his arm, he was mine, vulnerable, real. Recovery was a grind. He came home bandaged, irritable, confined to the couch with ice packs and bad TV. I played nurse, soups from scratch, forehead checks, reading aloud from his art books till he dozed. It bonded us deeper. This caretaking flipped. One night, feverish and loopy on meds, he confessed. Jake texted. Wants to check in. Told him to fuck off. Good. But the name soured the broth I'd spooned him. Michael. Trust me. His eyes, Dilated, pleaded. Always. The fracture from New Year's lingered, a hairline now widened by fear. He graduated in August, cap tassel swinging like a pendulum. The ceremony was a blur, proud parents clapping, his name echoing in the auditorium. Afterward, at the after-party in a loft off Washington Square, Jake cornered us by the punch bowl. "Congrats, man." His smile was sharp. To me, "Take care of our boy." Ours? The word ignited. Brandon stiffened. I stepped forward, voice steel. "He's not yours." Jake's laugh grated. "Touchy." "Just saying Brandon's wild. Needs space. Get lost." Brandon's grip on my arm was iron. Jake shrugged, melting into the crowd, but his poison seeped. That night, in a hotel room we'd splurged on, champagne chilling, doubt crept. "He's wrong," Brandon murmured, unbuttoning my shirt. "I'm yours." We proved it till sheets tangled, bodies slick, his moans a symphony against the city drone. But morning brought hangover truths. "Maybe upstate's too soon," I said over room service eggs. "Firms offering partner track." His face fell, fork pausing. "And my gallery internship? In the city? We could commute. Or stay here. Together." But his tone held resentment's edge. Fall semester started. Him interning at a Soho gallery. Me buried in blueprints for a queer youth center. Ironic, given our closet. Dates became rare. Quick coffees. Hidden hands under tables. Tension simmered, unspoken. The betrayal brewed slow, then erupted. November, election night, the country fracturing like our bubble. We watched returns at home, takeout Chinese cooling untouched. As results soured, Brandon's phone lit. "Jake. Party at mine. Need to talk." "Go if you want," I snapped, jealousy flaring. "Misery loves company." He pocketed it. "Not happening." But midnight, he stirred. "Can't sleep." Grabbing air. "With who?" The accusation slipped. "Alone." Hurt flashed. He dressed. Out the door. Hours ticked. 2 a.m. Panic clawed. I texted home? Nothing. By 3, I was pacing, calling voicemail. Dawn broke gray. Him stumbling in. Clothes rumpled. Eyes averted. "Where?" My voice was gravel. "Walked." Cleared my head, but his shirt was inside out. A hickey blooming on his neck like accusation. "Liar." The word exploded. "Jake." He deflated, sinking to the couch. "It was nothing. One drink. Talked about art. Then, I don't know. Stopped thinking. Betrayal. Round 2 sharper. Poisoned." "You don't know? After everything." "Michael. Please." Tears tracked his cheeks. "I'm scared. Of losing you. Of this ending before it starts." "Then why sabotage it?" I towered, fists clenched. "Am I not enough? Too old? Too straight-laced for your wild?" "No!" He surged up, grabbing my shirt. "You're everything." "But Jake." He doesn't look at me like I'm broken. Broken. The word gutted. "Is that what I make you feel?" Silence. Damning. He looked away. "Sometimes. Like we're always one wrong move from imploding." I shoved past, grabbing coat. Need air. The streets were election wreckage. Posters torn, sirens wailing distant. I walked till legs burned, ending at the bridge, East River churning black below. Elena's voice echoed, "Fight for love, Michael. It's worth the scars." But was it? Back home, dawn gilding the windows, Brandon slept curled fetal. I watched, heart aching, his lashes dark fans, lips bruised from another's kiss. Gently, I woke him. "We talk." Now, kitchen table, coffee steaming like peace offerings. "I fucked up," he started. "Jake's easy. No stakes. But he's not you. Doesn't make it hurt less." My voice cracked. "Trust's gone, Bran. How do we fix that?" "Therapy. Again. Sessions twice weekly. Her office a sanctuary of plants and affirmations." "Betrayal's a wound," she said. "But forgiveness is choice. We chose raw, tentative. Date nights enforced. Dinner at that Italian hole-in-wall, his hand in mine across checkered cloth. Art walks in Chelsea, critiquing nudes that paled to his. Sex reclaimed. Slower. I locked, reaffirming. Winter solstice. He unveiled a piece. Us, intertwined in oils, bodies abstract, but souls bare. "For the upstate house," he said. I kissed him there. Gallery empty, paint still wet. Soon, but cracks spiderwebbed. My promotion loomed, endless hours, schmoozing donors who eyed my personal life sideways. Brandon's internship soured. The director, closeted queen, hit on him subtle, making him doubt. One blizzard night, snow sealing us in, conflict peaked. "Quit," I urged, rubbing his shoulders by the fire escape window. "We don't need it. Easy for you," bitterness laced. "Mr. Partner track. What's that mean? You with your suits, your stability. I'm the fuck-up artist, chasing dreams while you build empires." Ouch. "This about Jake again?" "No. About me feeling small." He pulled away. "Like I'm holding you back. You're not." I reached, but he shrugged off. "Maybe I am." Door slam. He locked in his old room. Symbolic now. Morning. Truce over waffles. "We're equals," I insisted. "Partners." He nodded, but eyes distant. "Prove it. Tell someone." At work, panic spiked. "It's complicated. Everything is." He left for class. Kiss perfunctory. The high tide hit Valentine's. Irony's cruel joke. I planned grand. Reservation at Gramercy Tavern. Roses. A key to the upstate rental I'd signed sight unseen. But he canceled last minute. Gallery emergency. I went alone. Nursing wine. Toasting ghosts. Home late. I found him on the couch. Sketchpad open to Jake's half-erased face. Now fully inked. Angry strokes. "Rethinking." My voice was ice. He startled. "No. Just purging." By drawing him? I snatched it, ripping the page. "Purged enough." "Michael." He lunged, but too late. "That's my work." "Yours? Or his ghosts?" We grappled, paper tearing further, ending in a shove me against the wall, him panting inches away. Hate and lust blurred. "I hate you sometimes," he whispered. Ditto. Then mouths crashed, fight turning fever. We fucked against the wall, brutal, cathartic, clothes half on, grunts echoing anger into ecstasy. After, bruised and spent on the floor, he sobbed. "I can't lose you." Won't, but doubt echoed hollow. Spring equinox. Renewal's promise. We drove upstate weekend, cottage by a lake. Pines whispering forgiveness. Hikes hand in hand. Skinny dips in icy water. Laughter thawing winter's grip. This is us, he said. Sketching the view, me in foreground. Strong. His anchor. Back in Brooklyn. Momentum built. My coming out at work. Casual lunch chat. Seeing someone special. Nods. No drama, progress. American style. His show opening. Sold out. Critics raving. Jake attended. Distant. Brandon ignored. Arm looped mine publicly. Victory. But undercurrent stirred. Late May. Anonymous email to my inbox. Grainy photo. Us kissing on the fire escape. Time-stamped last summer. Sender. Unknown. Message. Careful what you build. Mr. Harlan. Some foundations crumble. Heart seized. Blackmail? I deleted, but poison spread. Told Brandon over wine, his face paled. Who? Jake. Probably. Petty revenge. Change locks. Block him. Practical. But fear lingered. Nights. I bolted awake. Checking windows. Paranoia infected. Snapping at Brandon over nothing. Him withdrawing into sketches. Climax brewed that June. Pride Month's irony. Parade day. Rainbow flags waving like taunts. We marched. Him vibrant in face paint. Me quieter. Hand in his defiant. Cheers swelled. For a moment. Free. After party at a rooftop bar. Skyline glittering. Jake appeared. Drunk. Cornering Brandon by the railing. Missed my chance. Ha! Beat it. Brandon's voice steady. Jake lunged. Grabbing his wrist. You're wasted on him. Old perv. I intervened. Shoving Jake back. Touch him again. You're done. Fists flew. Jake's connecting my jaw. Mine his gut. Chaos, shouts. Security hauling us apart. Brandon between. Pleading. Stop. Enough. Cops came. Statements taken. No charges, mutual combat, but headlines whispered. Brawl at Pride. Architect in altercation over lover. Firm called Dawn. Explain. I did half-truths. Protecting Brandon. Personal matter. Suspension pending review. Home. Brandon iced my bruise. My fault. No. I cupped his face. Hours to fight. But the photo resurfaced, sent to HR. Anonymous again. Inquiry loomed. Ethics violation? Fraternization with family? Betrayal's full bloom. It's Jake, Brandon confirmed. Phone log showing blocked calls. He hacked my cloud or something. Confrontation. We tracked him to his Bushwick studio. Pounding the door. He opened smirking. Paint splattered. Lovers quarrel? Delete it. Now. My voice thunder. Or, defiant. Brandon stepped up. Or I press charges. Harassment. Stalking. Jake laughed. But eyes flickered. Fine. But you're fools. Stepdad kink? World's not ready. Neither are you. I deleted from his drive myself. Watching files vanish. Driving home. Catharsis mixed dread. We go public? Brandon asked. Upstate. Now. Impulsive. But right. Packing frenzy. Boxes taped. Lease broken. Clara helped. Hugging tight. Proud of you both. Departure dawn. U-Haul rumbling north. Lake welcomed. Cottage creaking hello. Unpacking. He found Elena's photo, wedding day. Us three. She'd love this. Tears pricked. Yeah. First night. Stars unpolluted. We made love on the porch. Slow. Under moon. Bodies merging like waters. Forever? He whispered. Damn right. Summer idol, him painting lake views. Me freelancing remote. Designs for eco-homes. Ironic peace. Letters to Clara happy. Finally. But autumn winds carried omens. My jaw still ached phantom from the fight. Emails from firm. Resignation advised. Quit. Pride intact. Brandon's first solo show. Upstate gallery. Us in flannel. Toasting sales. Then, the twist. Clara's call. October. Elena's will. Oversight. Property in the city, yours if you claim. The apartment. Nostalgia tugged. Sell it. Or reclaim. Her paws heavy. For old times. Debate raged. Roots versus. Escape. Stay here, he urged. Face it. Risky. But love's a gamble. We returned. Tentative. Apartment unchanged. Dusty. Memories thick. First night back. Fire escape vigil. His head on my shoulder. Home. Yes. But shadows lurked. November chill seeped through cracks, mirroring the unease settling in our bones. The firm fallout lingered. Freelance gigs trickled. Enough for now. But whispers followed. That guy from the pride fight. Yeah. The stepdad one. Brooklyn's queer scene. Tight-knit. Buzzed with speculation. Brandon shielded me. Fierce. Ignore. They're jealous. Easier said. Grocery runs drew stares. Old neighbors nodded awkward. Isolation crept. Cabin fever in our own space. Upstate again? I suggested one gray morning. Coffee steaming. He shook head. Sketching by window. No running. This is our fight. Stubborn. Beautiful. I loved that fire, had since the door creak that started it all. Thanksgiving redux. Just us. Turkey charred but edible. Stories of Elena's disasters. Laughter bubbled. Genuine. Post-feast. Couch collapse. His fingers tracing my belt. Grateful, he murmured, sliding down. Dessert was him, slow, teasing, eyes locked as he took me in. I arched, hands in his hair, whispering filth that made him hum approval. Climax shattered, him swallowing every drop, then crawling up for kisses. My man, after tangled, he voiced the unvoiced. Marry me? Not legal, but us. Heart swelled. Yes. Rings later, simple bands. Engraved bridge burners. December danced merry, despite world's grump. Holiday market strolls. Gloved hands swinging. Tree trimmed with Elena's ornaments. Brandon's sketches added. Christmas morn. Gifts unwrapped. For him, leather portfolio. For me, custom blueprint. Our dream house. Upstate forever. New Year's Eve. Rooftop party, friends vetted. Safe. Countdown. His kiss under confetti. To us. But January bit hard. Cold snap locked us in. Cabin fever bred bickering. Answer your damn phone. I snapped one night. Him buried in canvas. It's the gallery. Deadline. Defensive. Always deadlines. Jealousy. irrational, of paint, of time stolen. He slammed brush. And you're always working too. That client call, 3 hours. Money, Bran. For us. Us? Or your ego? Hurt flashed. He stormed out, door bang echoing. Tracks in snow led to the park. Bench under lamplight. I found him there, shivering, sketchpad sodden. Sorry, I said, draping coat. Me too, hug tight, thawing. Scared of losing this. Won't, but fear echoed. Therapy rebooted. Virtual now, her voice steady. Conflicts normal. Navigate. We did date jars. Slips with ideas. Picnic. Massage. Roleplay. Laughs returned. Intimacy spiced. One slip, stranger fuck. We played it out, him meeting me at a bar. Seduction slow burn. Ending in alley passion against brick. Rain slicking skin. Mine, I growled, thrusting deep. Yours, he gasped, legs wrapped tight. February's thaw brought opportunity. Queer lit festival. Brandon reading excerpts, veiled tales of forbidden love. Crowd wrapped, I beamed front row. Post-reading, signing line. Jake appeared sober, contrite. Hey. Can we? Brandon tensed. I stepped up. Not now. Jake nodded. Slipping card. Apology coffee? No strings. Trash it? Tempting. But Brandon pocketed. Closure. Unease nod. Their meet neutral cafe. I paced home. Paranoia scripting disasters. He returned flushed. Not guilty. He owned it. The photos. The sabotage. Said he was hurt. Lashing out. Forgive him. No. But understand. Kiss soft. Love you. Relief. But residue stuck. Like glitter. Impossible to shake. Spring equinox again. Renewal ritual. Lake drive. Despite distance. Cabin rented. Days hiking. Nights bonfire lit fucks under stars. Him riding me slow. Fire crackling counterpoint to moans. Build here, he panted. Our blueprint. Plans sketched. Eco home. Studio wing. Excitement bubbled. Back city. Momentum. My designs picked for a Pride Center expansion vindication. Brandon's agent signed him. First commission. Mural for a shelter. But May storms brewed. Anonymous again, package at door, USB drive. Labeled truth. Inside videos. Fire escape kisses. Compiled from windows across. Jake? Deeper? Police report filed. Detective sympathetic. Stalkings rising in queer communities. We'll investigate. Nights patrolled. Bat by bed. Brandon joked. My night, but eyes shadowed. Climax crested June. Pride redux. We skipped parade. Private. Rooftop. Flags waving. Champagne toasting survival. As sun dipped, he knelt, ring box open. Marry me proper? Courthouse. Tomorrow. Tears pricked. Yes. Ceremony small. Clara officiating. 2 witnesses, therapist. Bar buddy. Vows raw. In shadows and light. I choose you. Rings exchanged. Kiss sealed, family. Finally. Honeymoon upstate. Week bliss. Hikes. Reads. Endless sex. Lazy mornings. Him waking me with mouth hot and eager. Afternoons bent over kitchen table. My hands pinning wrists. Husband. He teased. Clenching around me. Husband, I groaned. Lost. Return, life elevated. Mural unveiling, his hands painting rainbows, mine holding ladder. Firm contract, consultant, flexible. July heatwave, respite lake. Swimming nude, he tackled me into shallows, laughter bubbling. Race you, cheating, I pulled him under, kisses bubbling up. Shore tumble, sand gritting skin, we fucked urgent, waves lapping, sun baking sweat. Forever, he arched, coming with cry. Echoed. August idol shattered, detective call. Culprit, not Jake. Your old partner, Tom Ellis. Jealous of your lifestyle. The photos? Payback for quitting. Tom, firm colleague. Closeted. Bitter over my promotion snag. Videos from his drone hobby. Targeted. Confrontation. HR meeting. Him crumbling under evidence. Firing swift. Lawsuit whispered. Justice bittersweet. Over, I told Brandon. Arms full. Not over. Us. Kiss deep. Fall painted leaves fire. Our home. 2. Anniversary dinner, pasta. Elena's recipe perfected. Candles flickered, he gifted portrait. Us. Aged graceful. Hands linked. Tears. Beautiful. You are. Hand under table. Stroking thigh. Dinner forgotten. Bedroom bound. Slow undress. Worship each scar. Each line. Him atop. Rocking gentle. Eyes locked. Love you. Michael. Love you. Brandon. Climax shared. Quiet profound. November now, anniversary of the Door Creek. We recreated me changing. Him entering scripted. Laughter dissolved to heat. Towel dropped. Bodies colliding. Floor fuck. Urgent. Then bed slow him inside me. Tender thrusts. Whispers vows renewed. Winter approached gentle. Clara visited. Toasting. Elena's proud. We were. But life's American drama twists. December. Doctor's call. Brandon. Routine check. Spot on lung. Biopsy. World tilted. Cancer. Elena's shadow. Panic clawed. Scans. Weights agony. Positive. Early. Treatable. Chemo scheduled. I held him post-diagnosis. Vomit bowl nearby. We'll fight. Fight with you. Weak smile. Months blurred. Infusions. My arms his pillow. Art therapy. Sketches defiant. Gallery show postponed. But virtual sales soared. Community rally. Spring. Remission declared. Bald head fuzzing. He grinned mirror. Sexy. Gorgeous. Night celebrate. Gentle. Him topping careful. Joy in every gasp. Summer. Lake house bought. Our blueprint breaking ground. Mural finished. Shelter opening. Harlan Williams wing. Names etched. Pride. We marched, him vibrant. Me steady arm. Jake nodded distant peace. July 4th. Fireworks over water our deck. Blanket wrapped. Him head my lap. Started with a door, he murmured. Best accident. Kiss under bursts. Life. Kith dramatic. Emotional. Romantic. Human. Autumn wove gold through the leaves as our house rose. Timber frame defiant against upstate winds. Studio windows framing the lake like a canvas Brandon claimed daily. I'd watch him from the half-built kitchen. Charcoal smudging his fingers as he captured sunsets. his body leaner now from treatments but stronger in spirit. The chemo scars faint badges under his shirt. Me, I'd hammer nails, sweat beading on brow, the rhythm grounding me like drafting once did, each strike a promise. This stays built. Clara visited often, pies in tow, her laughter filling rooms Elena's ghost once haunted. "Look at you boys," she'd say, eyeing our rings glinting in the light. "Proper homesteaders." Brandon would blush, sketching her quick, sharp wit in every line, while I'd pour her coffee, black as our humor had become. The city pull lingered, faint. Freelance kept me tethered, designs for queer spaces nationwide. Irony not lost. One gig, Brooklyn Center expansion. Full circle. Groundbreaking. Brandon by side. Shovel in earth. "Planting roots," he quipped. "Dirt under nails." Flashbulbs popped. A reporter cornered. "Story behind the fight? The love." I glanced at him. Green eyes steady. "Family. The kind you choose." Headlines spun romantic. From scandal to sanctuary. Architect's gay love story inspires. Backlash trickled, trolls online. Old colleagues' side eyes, but support drowned it. Letters, donations, podcast invite we laughed off. Winter blanketed gentle. First snow dusting the deck like powdered sugar. We shoveled paths to the studio, breaths clouding, then tumbled inside, fire crackling, clothes shedding hasty. Him against the easel, me dropping to knees, taking him deep with reverence, paint tubes rolling underfoot. "Fuck, Michael," he groaned, fingers tangling my hair, release spilling hot as his vows. After, wrapped in wool, mulled wine warming palms. He voiced the quiet fear. "What if it comes back?" I pulled him closer. Heartbeat sink. Then we fight again. Together. Spring bloomed defiant. Lilacs Elena loved scenting air. Brandon's first upstate show. Local gallery. Crowd from farms and artists. His pieces selling swift. One unsold. Us. Abstract embrace. Titled Threshold. "For the door," he explained to buyers, winking at me. Summer solstice. House complete. Move-in bash small. Clara. Therapist. A few city friends. Toasts clinked. To bridges unburned. Laughter echoed. Jake even came. Sober 2 years. Handshake firm. "Happy for you," he said. Genuine. Brandon nodded. "Thanks, man." Nightcap on the dock. Stars mirroring lake ripples. Fireflies danced. He leaned into me. "Dream this." Feared it more. Kiss soft. Hands wandering under blankets. Lazy strokes. Him shuddering into my palm. Me following with his mouth's magic. Water lapped counterpoint. Nature's lullaby. Fall harvest. We planted garden. Tomatoes Elena grew. Basil for pesto. Kneeling side by side. Soil rich. He paused. "Kids." Heart stuttered. "Adopt?" "Surrogate." "Talk it." Smile shy. "Someday." Thanksgiving. Table groaned. Turkey. Pies. Clara's stories of Elena's antics. "She'd drag us caroling," she reminisced. Post-feast. We did lanterns glowing. Voices off-key through woods. Home. Pie crumbs on sheets. Him riding slow. Eyes locked. Grateful. Always. December danced festive. Tree felled local. Ornaments hung with tails. Christmas Eve. Snow falling fat flakes. We exchanged vows renewed under mistletoe bough. In plenty. Want. Sickness. Health. New Year's. Lake frozen silver. Bonfire crackling. Countdown whispered. His lips on mine. Another year. Us. January chill tested. Flu hit me hard. Him nursing with broths. Cool cloths. Payback. I croaked. His hand soothing fevered brow. Love's the debt. Gentle kiss. Then more, him careful atop. Rocking till pleasure eclipsed ache. February's heart. Valentine's hike. Cabin picnic. Champagne chilled in snow. Heart-shaped sandwiches. Laughs at failed attempts. Romantic sap, he teased. Feeding me grapes. Your sap. Tackle into drifts. Snow angels turning sinful, him grinding down. Cold air nipping skin. Heat building frantic. Release muffled in scarves. Afterglow rosy-cheeked. March winds howled. But indoors warm. Him painting spring's promise. Me blueprints for expansion. Nursery wing? Subtle hint. April showers. We danced in rain, porch steps slick. Bodies pressed. Wet clothes clinging. Inside. Towel dry slow. Tongues tracing droplets. Bed a tangle of limbs. Him inside deep. Thrusts sinking storm rhythm. Bloom with me, he panted. Forever. May's bloom. Garden riot color. Bees humming. Us weeding companionable. One evening. Sunset painting sky fire. He knelt amid tomatoes. Kids. For real. Let's start papers. Tears pricked. Yes. June pride. Upstate version. Local march. Rainbows on tractors. We waved from float. Hands linked. Evening. Bonfire stories, our door creak. The hook that hooked us. July heat. Lake swims daily. Cannonballs. Races. Lazy floats. One dusk. Duckend. He pulled me under water's edge. Legs wrapped. Entering slow amid ripples. Summer love. Bubbles escaping with moans. August lazy. Hammock reeds, his head my lap. Fingers combing hair. Storm night. Thunder rolling. We fucked urgent. Lightning flashes illuminating ecstasy. His cries drowning rain. September equinox. Harvest moon full. Bonfire feast. Stories circled. Bed after. Spooned close. His whisper. Pregnant. Not yet. But. Imagine. I do. October chill. Leaves crunching hikes. Pumpkin carve. Guts flung laughing. Night. Candlelit. Him bending me over table. Thrusts deliberate. Jack-o'-lantern grins watching. Witchy, he growled. Your spell. November's cusp, 1 year post-cancer clear. Checkup clean. We celebrated raw, him against fridge. Legs hooked waist. Me driving deep. Relief in every gasp. Survivors, he sobbed. Warriors. December solstice. You'll log burning. Rings polished. Vows etched deeper. Threshold crossed, he toasted. To many more. January's resolve. Adoption agency meet. Home study scheduled. Nerves jangled. His hand steadied. Parents. Us. February frost. Valentine's redux. Cottage getaways. Snowshoe sex in woods. Muffled cries in evergreens. March melt. Papers filed, wait begins. Garden planted bigger. Hope seeds. April's renewal. First foster call. Teen boy. Scared eyes. Art skills budding. Trial visit. Awkward dinner. Brandon sketching with him. Laughs tentative. May's promise. He stays our first. Family, kid whispers, hugging tight. June solstice, pride full circle, 3 strong, marching. Boys' flag waves high. July's heat, Lake Days trio splashes, stories, bonds forging. August's end, house full, laughter echoes. September's harvest, table crowded. Clara, boy now ours, paper signed. October's chill, stories by fire, door creak tale, kid wrapped. November's thanks, bountiful, turkey, pies, futures bright. December's light, tree twinkling, ornaments for 3, more coming. New Year's dawn, lake iced, us bundled, boy asleep inside. His kiss warm, started stunned. Ended whole, whole, I echo. Life's arc, drama's storm, emotions tide, romance's fire, humanity's grace. American as dreams chased, love's claimed, ours unbroken. In the end, the door creaked open, not to shock, but to home. And we stepped through, together.